Welcome back to the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors George Mason University Market Forecast video series. I'm Cansu Freeman, Research Assistant at GMU's Center for Regional Analysis in the Schar School of Policy and Government. In this briefing, we review recently released data from the Census Bureau's Population Estimates program. This program offers annual estimates of national, state, and local population trends. We focus our attention on three categories of population change. Natural change, which is the net sum of live births minus deaths. Net international migration, which is newly arriving international immigrants minus those who migrate from our region to other nations. And net domestic migration, the difference in the number of U.S. residents moving to our area versus the number of local residents moving to somewhere else in the United States. The sum of these three categories is the total net population change. In the census program, the measured year runs from July 1st through June 30th of the following calendar year. For 6 years in a row now, the DC metropolitan area has experienced net domestic outmigration with more than 29,000 residents leaving the DC area for other parts of the nation in the year ending June 30th, 2019. This trend has been a concern for local leaders and businesses due to the constraint the loss of workers has on local labor supply. Unfortunately, the Population Estimates program does not provide detail on the characteristics of this population, but anecdotally, we can tell that many of those leaving the region are young families moving to other metro areas that offer job opportunities, but notably lower cost of living. Perhaps just as concerning is the dramatic drop in the last data year of net international migration, which dropped by more than 40% from the previous year. Given the strength of the local economy through 2019, we can speculate that current administration policies toward immigration is at least somewhat responsible for this trend. Be on the lookout for the forthcoming update on immigration workers in the DC region to be released mid-May. While natural increase in net international migration more than offset net domestic outmigration, the pace of total population growth slowed dramatically in the most recent reporting period, totaling only 0.5%. The overall lack of housing inventory in the market certainly has an impact on in-migration to this region. In the year ending June 30th, 2019, the District of Columbia saw the largest yearly change in population, adding almost 104,000 residents. After years of not allowing much housing development, Loudoun County's recent willingness to increase the local housing stock has supported substantial population growth. Montgomery County remains the most popular suburban Maryland destination for new residents, and Prince William County continues to attract new residents and businesses. As the most affordable close-in suburb, Prince George's County, Maryland, has started to rise in the ranks of regional population growth, totaling over 45,000 new residents in the last year. Madison and Rappahannock counties, which are on the fringes of the metropolitan area, were the only two counties with a net population loss. There is some speculation in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic that we may see more demand for traditional suburban and exurban areas as residents look for less socially dense space. It's too early to say if this will prove to be true, but we at CRA will be monitoring housing market activities in the outer housing markets of the DC metro area in the coming months and years. In our ongoing monitoring of economic performance, we compare job growth across the 15 largest metro areas of the nation. Making a similar comparison of net domestic migration for these other regions, we see expected change and a couple surprises. Traditional population centers like New York, LA, Chicago continue to see residents leaving for a variety of reasons. Interestingly, the greater Miami area is also seeing net domestic migration. The Bay Area of California continues to attract jobs, but increasingly residents are having to move outside of the formal metropolitan area to find affordable quality housing options. After a few years of stemming its population decline, Detroit has resumed its decline in net domestic population change. Keep in mind, the Detroit region experienced its peak population in the mid-1950s. The metro areas with the biggest influx of domestic migrants include Phoenix, Dallas, and Atlanta, all of whom offer strong employment markets and relatively affordable cost of living. Forgive us if you have heard this before, but if the DC region wants to compete with the emerging South and Southwest powerhouse regions, we must address the lack of workforce housing at price points that allow young families and regular middle-class workers opportunities to realize their home ownership dreams. This alternative is continuing loss of talented workers that will stunt this region's economic growth. You can find more data and informative videos at these websites. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the Center for Regional Analysis, we wish you good health and good fortune.